didn't even think twice about it.
Okay, and this is the scene inside the tunnel at the Camp Nou. A few words being exchanged there between Nacho and Gerard Piqué, who isn't too afraid to stir things up, shall we say.
He just done it there.
And Nacho obviously isn't too happy about what has been said, shaking his head in disbelief. I wonder what the feeling is outside in the crowd. Not too many flags waving, are there? Interesting. The mood perhaps a little somber given that Barcelona are a man down. Now, Javi Gracia, what do you think Ernesto Valverde is going to do here? Nelson Semedo is an option off the bench. Does he go with him now?
Yeah, I think if they want to play with line of 4 back, they need to put Semedo like right back, and maybe Coutinho will be out and let Semedo the right side for him and try to have a good balance.
Oh, and look at this. Marco Asensio also ready to come on. Guillaume, just on Coutinho, he's been disappointing, hasn't he, this first half?
He has been, actually. He played on the right-hand side. When he does that, he's not sure yet what to do. And is he a midfielder? Is he a forward? I think sometimes it comes more natural to him to play on the left-hand side. But yeah, it's all been a little bit too slow on both sides, especially on Barcelona. Everybody wanted the ball to the feet. And now, 45 minutes for Barcelona to keep that unbeaten record, of course.
And 2 crucial substitutions here. So we've seen Semedo come on for Philippe Coutinho. Excellent work, Javi Gracia. You can come back. And Cristiano Ronaldo will not be playing the second half. Marco Asensio will be. Let's get into it then with Terry and Rob.
Well, the Masters have moved their pieces around for the second half. Big decisions made in both of the changing rooms at half times by Ernesto Valverde and also by Zinedine Zidane. Barcelona kicking off the second half, a man down. They said this was supposed to be the decaffeinated El Derby, El Gran Clasico. Well, it's been piping hot so far with lots of little sideshows.
And it's so difficult for the referee, isn't it? The players don't help him, don't help themselves with pretending that they've been hurt worse than they are, pretending there's been more contact than there is. Certainly all came to a head just before half-time. I think both the substitutions have been forced on the coaches, haven't they, for obvious reasons. Sergi Roberto being sent off. It's so important that Barcelona still keep the back fours, as Semedo coming on for Coutinho, and of course Ronaldo must have been feeling the effects of that injury that we clearly saw him receive in the act of scoring the goal for Real Madrid. Just stiffened up, I would imagine, at half-time, so that change was forced upon Zidane.
Well, Gareth Bale has gone into a more central role with Ronaldo withdrawn. An opportunity maybe for Gareth Bale to be a little more expressive. Sergi Roberto is the first Barcelona player to be sent off at the Camp Nou in 50 La Liga games here. It's more often than not a dismissal in the Clásico, but the last 6 red cards have been to Real Madrid players. But the referee was certain of what he saw. It took Terry and I about the 35th replay at half-time to ascertain that maybe the referee was right, as Marcelo. Iniesta, ball stolen by Marcelo. He's a central figure in this game, and it was a lunge from Piqué to stop him.
We're going to see Barcelona with the 10 men play 4 at the back, 3 in midfield and 2 up front. So it's Iniesta's going to play slightly more infield, pretty much alongside Rakitic and Busquets to make that trio.
Cristiano Ronaldo has equalled the Clásico scoring record of the great Di Stefano. 18 goals in Clásicos. He won't be adding to that today. Protecting him, giving him 3 weeks to get himself in tip-top shape for the Champions League final in Kiev. Busquets to Piqué. It was only the 5th time that the BBC have been back together this season from the start. 5th time in 58 games. It lasted 45 minutes though, as Ronaldo watches from the touchline. It is now a strangely subdued Camp Nou. Lionel Messi might brighten them up. Iniesta.
Well, they have to focus now, Barcelona, don't they? It was all free and pretty expansive in the first half. But they want to protect the unbeaten record. If they don't want Real Madrid to be the only team that beat them this season, they have to have a focus and make sure that they have a defensive shape, make sure they're a touch more organised when they don't have the ball. I think Messi would be asked to drop a touch deeper in the second half to make up the numbers, but Luis Suarez clearly going to be holding the line, leading the line on his own.
Here's Rakitic. Casemiro getting a full slice of the ball. Of course, every misplaced challenge or mistimed challenge is going to be jeered by the Barcelona supporters this evening. Toni Kroos to Nacho. Modric. Using the full expanse of the Camp Nou.
Yeah, that's where the problem for Barcelona is going to be. If Real Madrid can switch the play quickly from right to left to right, the fullbacks, both fullbacks, should be opening in lots of space.
Modric. Marcelo. Semedo coming to greet him. This is Benzema. Marcelo is there. Busquets effectively acting as an extra central defender at the moment. Semedo, the brave half-time change from Valverde, but he has made, over the course of this season, a lot of significant changes that have worked.
Excellent challenge there, wasn't it, from Casemiro?
Well, the news we're getting from the medical men that it is a slight ankle sprain for Cristiano Ronaldo. Here's Iniesta. Should keep him out for 4 weeks. Only joking. He's got a ticket to go, don't worry. There may not be any beds in care for the supporters, but he's got a ticket to go. There's Senor Hernandez. He was hoping to keep a low profile, but no such luck. Messi to Busquets. Rakitic. Iniesta. Suarez. Tees it up for Messi. Iniesta. I suppose, in a very strange way, Barcelona could be playing for the draw. I know it's not in their nature. It's all about flamboyant, cavalier football, but they are defending the title of the Invincibles. Only once before have they had a season like this where they lost just one game. The last team to go through a Spanish season without defeat was Real Madrid. Real are trying to spoil that. It's Asensio, goes on his first run forward, but Ter Stegen has worked out all of the angles.
I don't think Real Madrid have to change their approach, do they? They have to be patient. When they win the ball back, you can see the impact they're having on the counter-attack.
Here's Suarez to Lionel Messi. Messi draws the two defenders, gets over the challenge, and Lionel Messi, against the odds, gives Barcelona the lead. They're a man down, but maybe that doesn't matter when you have Messi on the field.
Real Madrid will have to change their approach now. Quite surprising to see Barcelona on the counter-attack. Real Madrid so exposed against 10 men. And it is brave for Valverde, any manager, when you have a player sent off and you're on level terms, to still keep the two attacking players on the pitch, up the pitch, looking to score goals, looking to win the game. It helps, mind, if one of them's Lionel Messi. Suarez does really well here. Tenacious play. There might be a claim from Real Madrid. He has impeded Rafael Varane. Once he moves the ball on to Lionel Messi, we'll see him. The perfect touch, the perfect amount of touches. Is that just the coming together? Certainly the referee allows the play to continue. plenty of work for Barcelona to do. Got those little touches from Lionel Messi, continuing to try to set himself up to take on exactly that type of finish. You see, he wraps his foot around there. Again, it's inch perfect. Keylor Navas probably knows exactly what's happening. Good footwork to get across from the goalkeeper, but still not good enough. Well, Messi, inch perfect, just in off the post. Sensational goal from Barcelona.
On Sunday night, they come to the church of Barcelona to worship Lionel Messi. Well, you say there may have been a claim for a free kick. As we were seeing the replays, the Real Madrid players were surrounding the referee, berating him for not giving the foul on Varane. It was almost a nervous hush at the start of the second half, but the noise volume went from 0 to 10. This, well, the Real Madrid supporters will be saying there was a raking of the Achilles there.
I wouldn't have been surprised at all to have seen that most referees penalise Luis Suarez on that occasion. It does lead to the goal, but ultimately there was a lot of work to do afterwards. Messi was open, of course. Still had 2 men to beat and the goalkeeper to beat from the edge of the box.
There's Busquets to Lionel Messi. Suarez finds Rakitic. Rakitic offside.
And it's fair play to Barcelona, down to 10 men, and they're going at Real Madrid with everything they've got. They've got ahead, and they're not showing any signs, are they now? Barcelona sitting back, retreating, holding on to the one goal advantage, still continuing to pour forward.
Piqué to Messi. Remember, Barca are a player down, and Gerard Piqué is gambling by going into a centre striker's position. Something you'd normally do if you were chasing the game. They're defending a 1-goal lead with a player less, only 10 minutes gone into the second half against the reigning champions of Europe. Make no plans for the rest of the evening. There are going to be so many twists and turns and little subplots in this game of football. Gareth Bale to Marcelo. Asensio. Modric. Benzema. Nacho. Saved hands of Marc-Andre ter Stegen.
Suarez here moves the ball out to Rakitic, who was adjudged to have been offside. Again, it's inches, isn't it? Very similar to the one in the first half where Ronaldo was called offside. Very close.
Well, quite often this season, it has been a trademark of Ernesto Valverde. He makes a very early second half change. He's made one at half time, but that was a reaction to Sergio Roberto going off. Paulinho comes on, and it is an emotional farewell to Clásico football for the great Andrés Iniesta. His 38th Clásico has been as dramatic as his first Clásico, and most in between. He accepts that he's no longer a 90-minute man, and that is why he's heading off to China to see out the autumn days of his footballing career. Man, woman, child, grandma, granddad, everybody in the Camp Nou stands up to acknowledge the Clásico farewell of one of the greats. I'm sure at some point this evening the plan was to take him off, to let him take in the adulation. But in the situation, it's a tactical change there. It's a needs-must, isn't it?
Yep, that's a concession to the scoreline. But I have to say, he was leading Barcelona in terms of his courage on the ball in possession, making sure that they kept possession and were brave with their possession. They're going to miss that now. I'm not talking about in the future, I'm talking about in this particular match.
Away goes Semedo, one of the substitutes. Paulinho's in there! Well, his first kick of the game was absolutely to the midriff of the Real Madrid goalkeeper, Navas, as they both bravely went chasing that ball. No malice attached. Doesn't help ease the pain of the Costa Rican keeper.
Yeah, I think he catches the full force of the challenge from Paulinho. Of course, no malice intended, it's a challenge that they both have to go for, but I'm pretty sure when we see the replay, the boot to Paulinho is going to catch Keylor Navas. Nelson Semedo gets in behind Ramos, whips a really good cross, and you can see the hefty old collision between the two there. Paulinho stretching, his eyes are fixed firmly on the balls, likewise with Keylor Navas, and an occupational hazard for a goalkeeper. Hazard. Oh, hazard.
The ball from Kroos to Stegen, tiptoes off his line. There is Paulinho, who has been the, well, surprise success of the season. He didn't come with a great reference from Tottenham Hotspur, where he built his career in China. Now Rakitic is flawed. I told you every challenge was going to be jeered. Ramos is already on a yellow card. Didn't do a great deal to get out of the way of his
I think that's
opposing number 4.
It's going to be his last chance, isn't it? Has he been sent off in a Classico?
3 in the last 8, 5 overall. Next question. Paulinho to Lionel Messi. Oh, Messi almost finding Luis Suarez. Gareth Bale. Clever ball by Bale to Casemiro. Modric to Kroos. They have a spare man in attack here. Benzema is flanked by Marcelo. Marcelo back, and brilliant defending by Gerard Piqué. Busquets. A high boot from Ramos. It is like the pantomime. Every time he goes after the ball, there are boos and hisses.
Yeah, it's a foul, isn't it? But on this occasion, not a yellow card. He actually gets to the ball first, doesn't he? It's actually the ball that strikes the head of Sergio Busquets. Just going to say he needs to show a touch more discipline, but that's not going to happen. He's not going to change, is he? We've seen him in all sorts of positions, making all sorts of reckless challenges.
Alba to Paulinho. Alba leaves Bale in his wake. Not for long, though. Now Paulinho, another former Tottenham man, to Messi. Rakitic leaves it for Nelson Semedo. Busquets. Messi. The referee thought long and hard about that. And a free kick in a very tempting position for Lionel Messi.
I'm not sure it is exactly against the contact with Messi as he tries to get between Casemiro and Nacho. A number of Barcelona players hopefully standing around the free kick.
There's only one candidate though, Terry, isn't there?
Yeah. Luis Suarez is normally Messi's caddy. He stands over him, tells him what club to take, tells him the yards, and then moves away. He never takes one, but he's always there offering advice. I wonder what Suarez has told Messi to do here.
It's a 7-man wall. Messi hits the centre of the well-built wall.
Marcelo was doing that familiar crouch behind the wall as well, so if the ball jumps, he was behind it. He was going to stay low, so Messi couldn't go underneath.
Well, that was Lionel Messi's 551st goal for Barcelona. Ronaldo scored 449 after tonight. That gives you around 1,000 goals between the two of them. For the clubs. There's Kroos. Modric. Asensio. Marcelo. Marco Asensio. It's a poor cross, easy for Umtiti. Here's Ramos. Nacho. Varane. You would expect Real Madrid maybe to be a little bit more forthright than this.
I think there's an element of surprise in their game in the second half that Barcelona were so offensive in terms of attacking play, possession. Barcelona certainly played a lot quicker, a lot sharper in the build-up to that second goal.
Gareth Bale. Karim Benzema. Bale draws breath. That stung the back of the legs of Umtiti. Now Benzema. Bale enters with intent. Ran into Umtiti. The ball had gone too far ahead of the Wales international.
It's a huge 25 minutes of football now for Gareth Bale, isn't it? With no Ronaldo on the pitch, Benzema not in great form. Bale throws himself down onto the ground there. That Gareth Bale really grabs this game by the scruff of the neck.
Paulinho. Fine challenge by Casemiro. Ramos. Modric. No great width supporting Modric. Nacho stayed here on the halfway line. Expected Carvajal was playing, he'd be bombing down the touchline.
Exactly, Carvajal's a miss, isn't he? So is Isco as well, who's out injured.
Here's Asensio. Teaser for Marcelo. Benzema slips. Cleared by Rakitic. Lucas Vazquez is going through his stretching routine. Maybe the next one to get a taste of the Clásico. There we go, just short of 98,000 supporters. 97,939. Some of them finding their voice again after the shock of losing Sergio Roberto. After the exultation of Lionel Messi giving Barcelona a lead. Almost 3/4 of the way through the match. Camp Nou is energised, nervously. Gareth Bale. Benzema, followed every step of the way, every breath of the way by Umtiti. Asensio. That was almost the same blade of grass that Suarez administered the volley in the first half.
Yeah, a little bit of space, a bit more time in possession for Real Madrid, good possession as well. And normally with back Marco Asensio, wouldn't you, to do far better with that technique. Semedo eventually sees it out, Gareth Bale knocks it past as the Umtiti comes across and blocks him off, and Gareth Bale appealing for the penalty.
Well, Nacho's off, Lucas Vazquez is on. Surely, well, he's against 10 men. The experiment of playing him at right back against Bayern Munich was an experiment we didn't think would be repeated.
No, but I can understand why Zidane is doing it. In these circumstances, when you've got the man advantage, Nacho hasn't been back from injury that long. He only just made the bench and starts today, has been out for a month, so why not put a winger? It's when you imagine that Real Madrid should have more possession, they're still going to have to do some defending, but not as much as defending as they had to do against Bayern Munich when The positional player Lucas Vázquez was found wanting on a lot of occasions, and in fact Modric ended up playing almost right back to help protect him.
Well, I know you've been counting the minutes of the players this season, but with Vázquez and Asensio coming on, they are the two most frequently used players, not always starters, but each are participating in their 50th game of the season. This is cut out by Rakitic. Oh, he goes through Ramos as if he wasn't there. Varane was there. Casemiro is playing an important game as the ball winner in midfield. He's one that hasn't been sacrificed. Asensio to Benzema. In a tangle with Semedo.
Casemiro has to knuckle down, doesn't he? He lost his place. He was brought off in the half-time against Juventus. Didn't start against Bayern Munich. Kovacic played instead of him. So Casemiro is focused and disciplined on the job that he's asked to do. He does it really well for Real Madrid.
Modric. Get out by Umtiti. Luis Suarez hits it long. It's into the slipstream of Messi. The goalkeeper decides to stay. Right decision. It's one of the most fearsome sights in football. Lionel Messi bearing down on you with half a field to spare. But on this occasion, it's the keeper who comes off best.
He's working really hard there, Lionel Messi, but I expected more from that. I didn't expect him to go for a straightforward sprint, get there, takes a touch from that angle, tries to find the far post. I was waiting for a dummy, a drop of the shoulder. Clearly away from Sergio Ramos. You can see Luis Suarez racing to get alongside him. Was there available for the tap-in.
Well, the ball is in the by the corner flag, but there's no Barcelona player there to take it. Rakitic is having a Sunday evening stroll. Rakitic swirls it in. Ramos only gets ahead on it, no direction. There's direction on that, it's right to the supporters behind the goal, decked out in the Señera. And when they played in the cup final, they were confiscating anything that was yellow and red. The Estrelada is the banned flag, a few of those around the stadium, but the supporters have answered the call to wear the Catalan colours this evening. Messi's corner. Ramos and Benzema in there. It's Busquets with the header. Pinning Real Madrid back. Asensio. Marcelo. Hits it blindly. Barcelona won't mind that. Stegen will just eat up a few valuable seconds. Presidential has a different meaning these days, but it's hard to be presidential on an evening like this. Diplomatic maybe is better. Ball to Gareth Bale! Brilliant Bale! He needed 1 second to change the course of the game there. And now 11-man Real Madrid are equal against 10 men Barcelona with 18 minutes to play.
Well, I talked about Gareth Bale taking this game by the scruff of the neck because he has the quality, has the ability. And Real Madrid, you have to give credit to them. They keep fighting back. I know they've got the man advantage. It's a smart pass from Asensio into the path for Gareth Bale, who can take it on first time. Generates real power, wraps his foot around the ball with his left foot, starts it outside the post. Absolutely no chance, no pointing to Stegen, even diving. It's a brilliant finish from Gareth Bale to put Real Madrid back on level terms.
Well, that has changed the dynamic of this Clásico. Barcelona have a long 17 minutes or so to hang on in there. Again, we said before, that's not in their nature to hang on in, but they are defending the title of the Invincibles. Paulinho. It is a who's who of the score sheet tonight. Suarez, Ronaldo, Messi and Bale. That's some billing. Hollywood football. Zemero, Busquets, Lionel Messi, Paulinho, Rakitic, steps away from Asensio. A little bit of afters there, referee acknowledges that he's seen it. Asks Barcelona to keep the ball rolling. Piqué in two minds, he decides to go on a charge upfield, bearing down on Casemiro. There's a space in the Barcelona defence to be exploited if they can move it quickly. Benzema, Piqué is back. Marcelo. Toni Kroos, Gareth Bale, Marcelo to Kroos, Asensio. This is the extra man, the wingman Vasquez. That's his first cross of the game, and it's a forgettable one.
Look how high the Real Madrid players are. The two players in the penalty area closing down. Four strong across the middle. We're really in the high end of the pitch in terms of offensive play.
Gareth Bale. Asensio. Vasquez. Asensio again prefers it on his left foot. Seeks Marcelo. Marcelo trying to keep a cool head. Marcelo is winning no friends in Barcelona this evening. Eyewitnesses felt that he'd made the most of a slap just before half-time from Sergio Roberto, and the referee was not buying that fall in the penalty area.
Piqué again is going forward. You can see Rakitic, his teammate, telling him to get back.
Well, Gareth Bale has committed a number of fouls in this game, and after 76 minutes he receives his first yellow card. Now Marcelo's in trouble. Two for the price of one.
Marcelo obviously complaining about the decision that didn't go the way of Real Madrid. Gareth Bale again, in my opinion, he's lucky to be on the pitch, lucky to be getting the equalising goal for Real Madrid, because two bad challenges in the first half. That was a penalty.
Yep.
It's a slight miscontrol for Marcelo, which believes that makes Jordi Alba believe he's going to win the ball cleanly. Completely misses the ball, clatters into the shin of Marcelo, and that should have been a penalty.
Well, to the
Madrid.
naked, untrained eye, and to the referee's eye as well, in real play, it didn't look like a penalty. But next season, when in La Liga they promised to introduce VAR, good luck with that. The referee's video assistant may well have told him that Marcelo was caught in the area. No penalty given. Remains 2-2. When they met in the Spanish Super Cup earlier this season, it was the team who finished a player like Real Madrid that won, and Ronaldo was sent off, and the sealing goal was scored in the 90th minute by Asensio. So it's following a familiar pattern. Vasquez. And Titi will let that roll out of play. The ball boys have gone on strike.
It's a clear penalty, isn't it? looking at the referee's position, he's behind one or two Barcelona players.
Every replay you see seems to confirm that, yeah. Can't be such a thing as a left-backs union. Here's Marcelo. Gross. Tony Gross too much on that pass even for Vasquez. He kept it in play. There's Jordi Alba. Vasquez throwing over Umtiti. They take it very quickly. It's Paulinho to Lionel Messi. Marcelo catches it. Marcelo's the baddie of the piece today. He's even ahead of Ronaldo and Ramos in the unpopularity stakes with the Barcelona supporters. Asensio. Busquets to Modric. Vasquez. Blocked by the Kool-Aid.
You can see why Lucas Vasquez has been brought on. He's spending most of his time playing in the attacking position.
Asensio. Marcelo. Every Barcelona player is back defending. The most important one, though, was Piqué, throwing his tired body to the floor. Marcelo. Vasquez. Modric, always rising.
Barcelona put so much into that first 15-20 minutes of the second half when they were explosive, which leads to the goal from Lionel Messi. Skips around Casemiro, Ramos can't get close to Lionel Messi, and then of course the familiar finish from Messi. Just bends it inch perfect into the corner.
Messi extending the Clásico goal-scoring record. He's 26th in 38 Clásicos between these two clubs. Suarez, Paulinho. Ramos makes a mistake. Messi gets around Ramos. Magic again from Lionel Messi.
He's just chasing everything. He's working so hard, scurrying around the pitch, putting Ramos under pressure, forcing Ramos into a mistake. And that's close, isn't it, towards the far post. Doesn't just get the necessary curl he's hoping for.
Oh, an air kick from Ramos as his pocket is picked by Messi. Now he goes around Casemiro, and he tried to beat Navas at the near post. Audacious. But Keylor Navas is having a sensational game in the Real Madrid goal.
And so is Lionel Messi, Robin. Picks up the ball here. Rakitic threads it around Casemiro, gets the other side so easy. Looks to see where the support is and tries to beat the goalkeeper at the near post. That wasn't a miss-hit cross. He's trying with his right foot to beat Keylor Navas at his near post. It's in his mind, the goal from Kimmich against Bayern Munich as well, wasn't it? Similar position.
Aim towards Gerard Piqué, who gets his head on the ball, but it was from a standing start. Bumping into his old friend Sergio Ramos there, his partner for the national team. Oh, this was that brilliant take from Gareth Bale.
It's a good pass from Asensio. He's looking the opposite direction. He's looking to the left. Disguises it when he shoves it into Gareth Bale, into the path of Gareth Bale. just on the edge of the box. It's a straightforward finish, actually, for Gareth Bale on his left foot, 20 yards out, 18 yards out, to wrap his foot around and get the power on the curl, because he is such a good player, and that is that quality.
Marcelo bent him up. Marcelo again. Umtiti had to rise high, and a bit of housekeeping from Jordi Alba.
Well, he's playing like a player that's on a mission now, isn't he, Gareth Bale? We've wanted to see that for some while. He's doing it in a Clasico, scored a goal. He's left his mark on 2 or 3 players, in particular with putting his foot in, being aggressive. And now going all out to be the match winner for Real Madrid.
Vasquez, Piqué, it's like a training exercise, header after header. When the Barcelona defenders, Piqué's going to have a headache after this one. Final roll of the dice from Zidane. Toni Kroos comes off. Bit of dash and panache from Kovacic, the Croatian international. Comes on to celebrate his 24th birthday at the Camp Nou. Asensio fighting at the far post, and Ramos was offside. Iniesta taking it all in. It's an unpleasant hug between the two of them.
It looks ridiculous, doesn't it, in slow motion when the ball's not in the frame.
I was enjoying the story that Guillaume was telling before the game. As Suarez and Ramos go shoulder to shoulder. Not for the first time. Remember, Suarez and Ramos have already been booked in this game. Andres Iniesta, when he goes to China, is apparently going to be earning 27 million euros a year. And there is a salary cap over that. So they've also got a deal in place to apparently from his winery to take in 6 million bottles of wine. Trade price, Terry will know this, is around €6. That's going to make up the rest of the salary. Barcelona are down to 9 men at the moment because Suarez is down on the floor. Rakitic tries to kick for touch. Real are not putting it out of play. They're chasing a winner. Strong challenge from Jordi Alba. This is Vasquez. Well, they're surrounding Vasquez, asking why he wouldn't put it out. Would you?
Why
5 minutes to go in a Clasico.
Why him? There was number 6 Real Madrid players that had possession of the ball as well. See Ramos and Suarez again. Suarez shoves his body in the way, doesn't he? He hasn't moved. Doesn't look an awful lot of contact, does there? It's a collision. You have to reserve judgment. You don't know how a player's landed, whether he's pulled a muscle.
He does look to be in some genuine pain. Well, the view from the moon, it seems, down on the Camp Nou. Just 3 minutes to go. Nobody but nobody is leaving the stadium just yet as we approach the grand finale.
You see the ability of Asensio and Gareth Bale.
Well, they say it hasn't been a successful season for Gareth Bale. That's his 19th goal in all competitions. His problem started about a year ago now, didn't it? It was April last year he picked up that injury. And he's only managed 25, well, less than 25% of the games in the last 12 months for Real Madrid. But his goal is the most important one at the moment. It's the one that has equalised this game. You just know there is one headline incident left in this, don't you? Asensio. Kovacic. Marcelo. Asensio's cross. Gymnastic clearance from Piqué. Suarez seems to be okay after the medical treatment. He's not now. Fair tackle in the eyes of the referee. Hernandez. Ball hangs in the air. Alba waits for ter Stegen, who just diligently picks the ball up, takes his time, has a look at the stadium clock, recognises there's 1.5 minutes to go, but the ball is given away. It's Luka Modric. They have players in the area. Modric has Vasquez with him. Umtiti uncertain of where the ball is, uncertain of his bearings. Well, Ronaldo so wishes he was out there.
Well, Kovacic on this occasion clearly does get the ball, doesn't he? There's contact with Luis Suarez. And Luis Suarez is making the most of it, isn't he? Last-ditch defending from Gerard Piqué.
He has one final change left. Alcacer is preparing to come on. Probably just to see out the stoppage time. Might be a time-consuming change. Probably Suarez who's going to go off. A player down, you can't afford to be carrying an injured player either. All hands to the pump for Barcelona. Modric to Bale. Varane. Now Vasquez. Bale comes and receives. Barcelona keeping Real Madrid at a safe 30-yard distance. Bale gains some yardage. It's cleared by Busquets to Suarez.
I know your players there, Suarez, surely. He's gave Paulinho a ball to chase against Varane, and it was Messi on the other side, up against Ramos.
Real Madrid take the throw, but the fourth official is trying to catch his attention to make the alteration. They're going to have to wait. We're into 4 minutes of stoppage time. If you are a Barcelona supporter, that's going to seem like a lifetime. If you're wearing Real Madrid colours this evening, you're going to feel that that is a very short amount of time to find the winning goal. Modric. Marcelo. Bad ball terrible ball from Marcelo. Momentum is lost. Zidane punches the air in frustration, and Barcelona will make the change. You can guarantee that Suarez is going to go temporarily deaf. As Alcacer comes on. They'll utilise every second the referee will allow them here. He's the man who started the scoring way back after 10 minutes of this game. A total appreciation of the Uruguayan striker. They've come from far and wide to see this Barcelona team with their own eyes, and the Real Madrid Champions League finalists. Referee set a minimum, remember, minimum of 4 minutes. I think it's going to be a couple of minutes beyond that, as Barcelona took almost a minute to make that change. Paulinho. Chased down by Kovacic. Enters the area. Kovacic gives away in the corner.
Yeah, good driving run from Paulinho. A good hold-up play from Paco Alcacer as well. Paulinho driving towards the box. No sense of Paulinho running towards the corner flag and holding on to possession in order to preserve this unbeaten run. This season stretches back to last season. At this stage of the game, you always tend to wrap up the game, and I'm reluctant in these circumstances with these two teams, with a history that we've seen in recent seasons, with late goals, decisive goals, still could go either way.
Well, they're going for the goal. Rakitic flies it in there. Real Madrid clear their lines. Busquets to Paulinho. Casemiro skies it. Some coaching manuals, Terry, you've been telling the players to get by the corner flag, keep it in there, play down the stadium clock.
The offside does Barcelona.
They maybe don't teach that in
La
La Masia, do they? In the documentary that Guillermo's been filming.
They're retreating, back in shape. Do it quickly. One last attack from Real Madrid.
Right, we're into the final few paragraphs of the story. How does the tale end? Bale doesn't get there. Rakitic gives it to Busquets. Messi plays it to Paulinho. He's got Rakitic alongside him. Messi down this side. Paulinho carries the ball. They were still going for the winner, and he had plenty of support, which has left them a little bit short at the back. Gareth Bale. How he could silence his critics if he could get the winning goal. Oh, it was almost there. It needed an immense block to stop him. You'd be tempted to throw the keeper, Keylor Navas, up for this, wouldn't you? They're beyond the promised time now. This is surely the last offensive play of the game. Well, Ramos has done it many times in many games. He's scored a dramatic goal. That's where it's aimed. Bravery, brilliant bravery from Semedo, who's played his part in this. Came on at half-time after Sergio Roberto is dismissed. The referee adding to the agony. Vasquez, there's a tumble in the area. It was Ramos taking out Rakitic. And the entertainment is complete. Hugs between the managers. Barcelona remain invincible this season. The last team to do so was in an 18-team league. Real Madrid back in the 30s. They're within touching distance, but boy, it was a fight against Real Madrid. A who's who of scorers in this game. Suarez made it 1-0. Cristiano Ronaldo 1-1. Lionel Messi got a great goal. Gareth Bale with a fine touch as well. And sandwiched in the middle of that, yet another red card in a Clásico. Sergio Roberto. It has been a footballing war out there, but they're all friends now. The Barcelona flag flying high and proud